Hey everybody, Alaskan Bobsled here. Wanted to kind of hit you with a different video today. This is going to be like a kind of conspiracy, crazy, off the wall, old man, take your meds type of deal regarding a idea that I had that could potentially be a thing for DVD. It's just speculation. It's just a theory. Honestly, let me put. So, as everybody knows, when it comes to DBD and updates, it doesn't matter what side of the fence that you're on. You could be a survivor main, you could be a killer main. Anytime there's any kind of update, there's always resistance from the player base, whether they like it, whether they hate it, whether it needs to be implemented sooner, whether it should have been implemented months ago, years ago, when the game came out. Whether one side's fair to this, whether the other side's fair to this, it's just a constant back and forth. So a lot of you know that in the recent PTB, the one with Tokyo Ghoul, there was a subtle change that wasn't in the patch notes that removed Oni flicks. Now, you can still do a 90-degree flick, maybe a little bit more, but 180s are just completely gone. I myself, I would say I'm an Oni main. I don't play killer as much anymore, but I rocked with Oni for a long time, and I know a lot of people who are constant Oni players, Oni mains. One of my friends that I'm constantly with, I'm a mod for his chat, Dan House. Go ahead and check out his channel. He's an Oni main. He plays Oni every single day. The dude's practically got it mastered, just like with a lot of other people. And with this change, it's kind of a scarier hole. There could be a potential issue. So essentially what my theory is, and tinfoil hat on, is that they're subtly going to be removing techs and what some people would call exploits or whatever out of the game. With Oni's been able to flick for, I believe it's been years. And there have been some, what they've claimed was like accidental changes in like PTBs and stuff, where maybe like the animation was messed up. I don't know if there's ever been a point to where just Oni flicks to that degree were just gone, even for a certain amount of time. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But I think this does kind of speak to maybe what behavior's actual intentions are for not including this in the patch notes with the PTB. They knew there was going to be a lot of resistance. There is a lot of resistance right now. Everybody's saying rip Oni. There's a lot of people who are Oni mains who have pretty much said like, hey, I'm just not going to play anymore. I believe one of them was Panda from Twitter. Pretty sure I saw a tweet saying that they were like, yeah, no, I already uninstalled DBD. And it really just doesn't bode well for the future of DBD. So with that, there's also Wesker techs. Some would also call them exploits. I don't call them exploits. I think there's a difference between a skill expression and something that was just completely not meant for the game. You would wonder that if it was in the game for so long, if they truly intended it. But also that kind of argument might not even be valid either with Oni flicks going away. So they removed blights. This is potentially, and we don't know yet until the release on, I believe, April 2nd is when Tokyo Ghoul officially gets announced. If Oni flicks are officially going away, they really haven't had any just straight confirmation from behavior itself side. So, I mean, this could all be for nothing. But if you look here on Twitter from John Wang, who's a gameplay programmer at Behavior, Chromes said, any chance you could shed some light on Oni flicks being removed in the PTB? He said, I don't know much about it other than it was an intended change. So it was an intended change, but they didn't put it in the PTB notes. I don't know, maybe to just avoid backlash. Maybe they were hoping people wouldn't see. I feel like pretty much if anybody's in the PTB, they're going to find every single thing. Somebody's probably testing out every single killer, trying every single tech or whatever to see if it's still there or not, if the character was subtly changed, which they've done that before in the past. So to go back to my theory, what I'm thinking is DBD is going to be subtly removing the Oni flicks, the Wesker texts, the hug texts, the skinny Berts, the whatever you want to call it, all this other stuff, to pave the way for the new FNAF crowd. Now you're like, Alaskan, what does that got to do with anything? What they're trying to do is that they're trying to push out the vets of the game, get them fed up enough, because I think the majority of the people who are vets or who are hardcore content creators in the DBD space all kind of agree that these things should be in there. You know, you'll probably get a few people who say like, no, I don't agree with it. But I think for the majority of people in that, like, I don't know, top 10% or whatever, you know, like people like Hens, people like Nightlight and stuff, I'm sure that they don't want Oni flicks removed. I'm pretty sure I just saw Hens talking about it not too long ago, about how like this is not a good thing. I'm pretty sure he made a tweet about it as well. This would irritate people enough because the removal of any skill expression is just going to completely ruin the game for a lot of people. That happens, and the vets do eventually get pushed out of the game and just say like, all right, man, I'm over it. I'm not going to do this anymore. That would leave a opening for the wave of FNAF fans who are excited for what we think is Springtrap to be coming during the anniversary time. And I did a quick little look on ChatGPT. This could obviously be wrong, but I asked like how many total fans of FNAF there are. And it said that the series has sold over 33.5 million copies worldwide as of 2023. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean 33.5 million people, but there's probably a good amount in there to come in. They're always excited to go and try out a new game. Anything to do with FNAF, I feel like FNAF fans are always just on top of it. They will go through everything. They will find everything lore-wise, try to enjoy any kind of content that has anything to do with FNAF. So I think it's speculated that a good amount of people are going to come into DBD for the first time. Obviously, there's fans of FNAF who play the game now, but I think there's going to be an overwhelming wave of people who are going to be playing DBD for the first time only because FNAF is in the game. Now, whatever they do with it, whether they play it for a day or they play it for the rest of their lives, I mean, that, you know, that's up in the air. DBD has a lot of preparation work to do, especially with the fact that FNAF is coming during the anniversary time, which is like the biggest time to be playing DBD. I mean, they got just like blood point incentives out the wazoo. You know, they probably got a bunch of deals. It's going to be like really perfect for like brand new people. And I think that DBD isn't going to let this chapter flop. Like I said, it's during the anniversary time. They're probably predicting a lot of people, a lot of first-time DBD players to be coming into the space, playing the game, and, you know, potentially they're going to try to keep those people. So with that, going back to my theory, the removal of vets by subtly removing text, skill expression, and everything, so that when the new wave of people come in, they're more susceptible to major changes, to new content being released. And if you know anything about DBD, if you're in the DBD Twitter space, if you're on DBD Reddit, if you've been in an endgame chat in DBD, you know that DBD players are extremely passionate about this game. There are a lot of survivor-only players. There's a lot of killer-only players. A lot of the times they clash. If there's a single update to the game that influences one side, the other is fighting the other. But anytime that there's any kind of update to any killer perk, any map, any survivor perk, anything like that, it's like everybody's up in arms. There's riots. There's fire raining down from the sky. It's just a whole mess. Everybody's fighting with everybody. The killer mains are fighting with the survivor mains. The people in the middle are like, please stop fighting. And then, you know, the crazy part is when everybody gets together as a whole, directs their anger at DBD and says, fix this. Nobody likes this, which is rare, but it's happened on occasion. But the point of me bringing this up is there's always resistance. There's always somebody sending a lengthy thread to behavior saying, you messed up, you suck, don't change this. What kind of company are you? You're terrible. You should just go out of business. It's literally like every single update. There's always somebody critiquing something. And to be honest, from a like customer support company side, that would suck. That would absolutely suck. I mean, there's people who are working tirelessly, just day and night, pushing out these updates, refining stuff. There's people working on stuff in the background, and every single time they put out something, they refine it as much as DBD can refine stuff. We all know it's a buggy mess. There's resistance. With a new wave of people, specifically this FNAF crowd that will come in, they're going to have a new killer, a new map, a new survivor, brand new group of people who are going to just storm the gates, play the game. They're just going to like it just because it's FNAF. Probably won't care as much if it's a buggy mess because they're like, oh my god, I got to play some FNAF content. They're more susceptible to having the game in a half-broken state. And why would people care about updates to stuff as long as it doesn't have to do with FNAF specifically? So if they are able to keep that FNAF crowd in, they're pretty much going to be just really just moldable. They're going to be able to just be, oh, listen, we're not touching FNAF, but we're going to do XYZ to Blight or XYZ to this survivor perk, and they're not going to care because they're brand new people. They probably don't feel comfortable enough to even voice their opinion, and they're probably just trying to enjoy the game. Push out the vets, keep the new players in. New players are going to be less resistant than people who have been playing the game for literally years. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with it? I don't know if then they're just going to like leave everything as is. Maybe they do plan on fixing how buggy DBD is, and it'll be just easier to have a bunch of mess ups with a new crowd. I don't know. That's my theory. You know, tinfoil hat off now. I'm back to Alaskan bobsled. If you guys have any questions, comments, do you think that I'm right? Do you think I'm just crazy? Do you think I should get back on my meds? I don't know. Should I? I don't know. You tell me. The voices tell me not to, but wow, that was so cheesy. I'm going to keep that in the video because, hey, I'm cool like that. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Follow my TikTok. Follow my Twitch. I stream every day except Sunday. And I just really appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and you are truly a blessing. Thank you.